What's good, y'all, and welcome to my first impressions for Hawkeye. I just finished watching the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye, man, and one thing I can't say, these 2 episodes were certainly better than Eternals. As you know now, though, man. You guys know me. I love Eternals, but definitely was like the weakest thing we've gotten seen before. But yeah, man, Hawkeye. These first 2 episodes were amazing. As you guys know, this is probably my most anticipated of the Disney Cluster, just because we know Yelena's gonna have some sort of presence and make an appearance sometime soon. But of course, the big one that we are all wondering if that's actually gonna happen or not is if we're actually going to see Kingpin, and we're actually going to see Wilson Fisk, and we're going to see Vincent D'Onofrio finally back again. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I am of course excited about this just for those 2 reasons alone, man. And these first 2 episodes, man, were absolutely spectacular, man. I loved them. Without further ado, man, let's just jump right in. So, the show, of course, stars, of course, Jeremy Renner, Helene Seinfeld, Vera Farmiga, if I'm saying her name right, Ava Russo, and many more. And of course, the plot of the Hawkeye series is Clint and Kate Bishop shoot a few arrows and try to avoid being targets themselves. Simple, straight to the point for Google, man. But yeah, man. So first off, we gotta praise the cast, man. Jeremy Renner is once again great as Hawkeye, as always is. Hallie Steinfeld, I'm saying her name right, who plays Kate Bishop, she was fantastic. I was kind of curious because I went into this show completely blind, basically. I have never read any Hawkeye comics, although, fun fact, after I watched the first 2 episodes, I went up on Comixology just to see if there were any sales going on with the Hawkeye run of this book that this comic is obviously taking a lot of inspiration from, which people have gone on like, oh, credit the writers, credit the artists when you're using there for the posters and shit, which I'm gonna be real, which I'm completely for, man. Definitely comic writers, especially mangakas and Japanese artists, Japanese animators, excuse me, definitely need to get paid more. They are both extremely underpaid. But I'm not gonna like also hear people say credit them. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, I get them. I get it. Shut the fuck up. You know, it got a little obnoxious after a while. I'm like, I fucking get it, man. You know, but anyway, so I went up on Comixology just to see if there's any sales, and to my surprise, there was the first 2 volumes. Well, actually, all 4 of the Hawkeye series, the one that that I think this one takes the most from, although it's probably a mixture of that and the Kate Bishop series. Anyway, they were all on sale. The first volume was actually was only $1, which was shocking to me. And then the other ones was like another one was like, and the rest of them were like all $2 each. So I decided, you know what? Fuck it. So I bought them all. I bought them all. It only costed me about $10. Everything, man. Hey, my birthday's coming up, so I might as well treat myself to some comics. Although, to be real, I'm probably not gonna read them till after the series wraps up, just so I can have this serve as my introduction to Kate Bishop and just enjoy the series without really knowing what's gonna happen next, and just kind of enjoy it without spoiling myself from reading the comic beforehand. So I might read the first issue, just out of curiosity for the Hawkeye series, just to see how it is, man. But I'm probably not gonna sit down and actually like read this shit until after the series has wrapped up, and I've already and until then, man, because I like to do it that way, man, rather than like pre-spoil myself to what's gonna happen by reading the source material beforehand. But that's just me. Anyway, guys, so yeah, if you guys are curious, if you guys like what you saw, go pick up the comics on Comixology. They're on sale for under $2. They're all at most $2 each. So yeah, you're making some good. So yeah, you're getting a good deal with those, because the trades are like $10 each, so you're getting it for $2, man. Shit, that's a good deal if you ask me, man. Anyway, back to Helene Seinfeld. After going off on a tangent about comics, she's fantastic, man. I loved her as Kate Bishop. I really did what they did with Kate Bishop as a character. I definitely want to see more of her. And hey, I'm gonna be getting Marvel's Avengers pretty soon, either on my birthday or for Christmas. I just know my mom's picking me up the game, so I'll also be checking out that expansion she got in Marvel's Avengers soon as well. So I'll get to see more of Kate Bishop, and of course, I got the comic waiting on my iPad on Comixology. So I'm looking forward to learning more about Kate Bishop throughout the rest of it, and then of course seeing how she is in the comics. Whenever I finally sit down and actually read them. But yeah, but she's great. Vera Farmiga, who plays her mother, who at first remember when I was watching the episodes, and I'm like, this chick looks familiar. What do I know from? I'm thinking I'm thinking that she might have been from some other Marvel movie or another Disney Plus series, and I just can't remember it. And then when I looked at her photo on Google right now, I'm like, oh right, she's from the Conjuring movies. Took me a while to figure that out, but yeah, she's also great as well, man. I love what they did with the first episode, starting it off with actually taking place during the Battle of New York, but actually completely from Kate Bishop's perspective. You get to see all the destruction and all that crazy shit going on from the perspective of like what she was like, what, 12-ish, 11, 10-ish, around that age range. When the first episode, at the beginning of the first episode, so I like that. Like, it's nice to kind of see an altered perspective on the war, on the Battle of New York from the first Avengers. So that was cool. I did, like I said, I already mentioned, I love Kate. Jeremy Renner was once again great as Hawkeye, and I've liked what they've kind of done with him, showing him off what he's kind of been up to doing post Endgame. One thing I actually found that was interesting is that he actually has a hearing aid this time, which I believe in the comics he's always had a hearing aid, or he's like partially deaf or whatever, and he uses a hearing aid. I think it's along those lines. Like I said, I don't read Hawkeye comics, man. I didn't even know who he was until the MCU introduced him, man. Like a lot of you, don't lie. Don't lie. Don't act like you were like, oh yeah, man, I'm a hardcore Hawkeye fan. Bullshit, you were. You didn't even know he existed until the movies made him popular. Stop lying to yourself. But I kind of knew about the hearing aid thing, and I even tweeted out, yo, wait, he has a hearing aid? The fuck? Because in the MCU, he's never had it, or I'm just like really forgetful and I just didn't know. But then. It wasn't until we got to the second episode where Kate asked her that, we find out that, they didn't explicitly say why he answered, but basically, from all the battles and shit he's been through from the first Avengers film, Age of Ultron, and Endgame, yeah, his hearing's kind of fucked from all the explosions, you know? So that was kind of interesting that now he has a hearing aid, which I'm sure makes all the hardcore Hawkeye fans have that, yay, he finally has a hearing aid, you know? Pause for partial deafness! But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this one now. So yeah, he was great. Love his character. I love what we saw of him with his family, his kids. It was interesting kind of seeing him watching the musical, and we obviously get to see how the death of Black Widow has affected him, which of course we know is going to really come into the forefront once Yelena finally makes her appearance in the show, whenever that may happen. But I like what they did with him in the first episode, where he's like watching the musical. The action set pieces were real good. It was nice to see the Ronin suit again. Kind of wish, like Loki, man, when we saw the Ronin suit again, Kate started wearing it and like doing some crime fight. It just made me wish that we got to know more of Ronin in the MCU. Like maybe we got like another Disney Plus series or a comic or something where we got to see more of what Clint was doing as Ronin between the events of Infinity War and Endgame. So what we saw of him, that one section Endgame, was so cool, man. I wanted to see more, and I wish we got to see more. Who knows? Maybe in the next, who knows? Maybe one of the next episodes. I'm not sure how long this series will be running. If it's gonna be like 6 episodes or longer, we might get to see more of his time as Ronin or not. But I would like to see more time as Ronin. So maybe make that another Disney Plus series, please. Because I like to see more of that, man. I thought that was some cool shit when we saw that in Endgame. But, yeah, and I also love the relationship and the chemistry between Hawkeye and Kate. They both have great chemistry together. Halle and, Jeremy work well together. I did what they did here. The dog was, of course, a highlight as well, man. Love the dog. And, yeah, man. The music I also thought was pretty good as well, man. So yeah, that's all I really gotta say in terms of a spoiler-free section. I am going to do a little bit of a light spoiler discussion, mostly just talk about like the last minute of the second episode. Just to kind of like talk about, give some theories on what that was. But yeah, man. Overall, I'm going to give the first episode of Hawkeye, since we got 2 episodes this time, which I believe the last time we got this was WandaVision. I don't think Falcon the Winter Soldier gave us 2 episodes to start. I believe that one was just the first one. Might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but the first episode of Hawkeye, I would give that a 9 out of 10. And the second episode, which really impressed me, I am going to give my full legendary 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, guys, if you guys want to stay spoiler-free and watch the first 2 episodes spoiler-free, click on the video right now. For everyone else, let's talk a little bit more about the last minute and a half of the second episode. So we find out in the second episode, Hawkeye, Clint has been like tied up to this chair, which I thought was very reminiscent of when Natasha was kidnapped in the first Avengers film, and I wouldn't be surprised that was done on purpose. As a little nod to that one. Of course, him and Clint and Natasha were like best friends and shit, man. I wouldn't be surprised that was done on purpose as a nod to the first Avengers film. But after Kate like falls down into from like the roof onto the floor, we find out that they're the leader of this gang, this like Russian tracksuit gang or whatever their name was called. They were fucking hilarious. I loved them. We find out that their woman that their leader is a woman. Now we couldn't get a good look at her because of the lighting and everything, but I want to say that it's Yelena, but I'm not. But I don't think it is because she didn't really look like Yelena, so I don't think it's her. Or maybe she just dyed her hair black or something. I'm not sure. But leave your thoughts down in the comments, guys. If you guys know. Maybe she's maybe she's like a prevalent Hawkeye character or something. But I want to say it's Yelena, but I don't think it is because it didn't really look like her. But I'm definitely interested to see where that's going to lead in the third episode of Hawkeye. I don't know when that drops next week. So yeah, man, obviously I'm super excited for the show and to see the rest of the episode. Of course, just see Yelena and yo, bro, if we are getting Wilson Fisk, if we are actually going to see the Kingpin make his return in this episode, in the show, man, I am going to flip the fuck out. I am going to fanboy like crazy if we actually get to see Vincent D'Onofrio again, man. If that happens, I will lose my goddamn mind. But we'll have to wait and see on that if that's actually going to happen or we're all getting our hopes up for nothing. We'll have to wait until then, guys. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked, if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.
She's too bad.